This is a 14-inch wireframe from Dollar Tree, and I actually wrapped it with this red wired burlap ribbon, except for I put it under the two center bars, if you can see that. I have another one that I did in, let me get it for you. Blue with white stars, but you absolutely cannot see these bars here, so it's not going to help. Last year when I made this, I actually wrapped this frame in jute, which looked awesome, but it made it exceptionally heavy. I went to Hobby Lobby's fabric department, and when I went there, I bought this, this red and white fabric here. Actually, if you could look at up close, there are like little silhouettes of stars in there. And I bought this blue with white stars at Walmart online because Hobby Lobby only had the really thin ones, the little ones. So at Hobby Lobby, I got this. You could make something else with this. I got these very thin stripes. And I got these tiny stars, which you can barely see there, but I might make something else with these. Who knows? All right, so I'm going to start. I already have 3 done for you. I found out that if you do this petal, I've seen on Unique in the Creek them doing this petal and calling it the Harvey petal. I had no idea when I first did it last year that it was a thing and it had a name, but apparently it's the Harvey petal. I did not get really picky about how, I cut these. First of all, I'm terrible with scissors and rotary cutters, but it does not have to be exact because I was not trying to make my fabric perfect. I'm even purposely fraying it on the ends. So it could be 10 by 10, 9 by 9. I mean, it doesn't even have to be perfectly square, really, but let's just say 10 by 10 if you're one of those people that has to be exact. So all I did was I folded it in half, and then I just scrunched. When I saw them do it with mesh, they did it like this. But it really comes out the same in my opinion. So here's a little rainbow loom band. I will most likely need all of the red and white pieces because I bought a yard. And like I said, I did not cut well. Please say hello if you are there. I don't think my parents are going to make it today, even though I put my hair in a bun. I'm going to do one more stripe. So here's approximately square. You can see on the sides it is not square. So if when I fold it, I need to cut that, I will. I'm just going to take my scissors and cut this kind of straight here. Still does not have to be exact. When I made this last year, I went around and I frayed all the edges because the person I made it for wanted it to have like a rustic feel to it. So I did not care that the fabric was all frayed, and any pieces that weren't, I frayed to match the others. I don't know why I closed this. This is my whole tub of rainbow loom bands that I use when I make petals. Occasionally I'll replace the clear ones, but the colors are nice too. Now you're going to see, this is a very simple design, Cindy, but I will tell you that it was a very popular design last year. When I put this on my page last year, a lot of people really liked it and asked how I made it, which is why I'm doing this now. Hello, Jessica. Which is why I'm doing this now, because, well, that's a really bad cut. Because it's posted in my cover photo on the top right somewhere. And when I asked what people wanted me to do live, somebody said that patriotic one in your cover photo. So that's why I initially made the reel where I do this. And now I'm doing this. So the stars, it doesn't really matter how you face it, but you fold it in half. So simple. And then I just scrunch through it like this. And then add a band. So these are not 100% uniform, but those of you out there, and I know who you are, because I'm usually like that too, measure them exactly. That's fine. You know, pick what works for you and measure it exactly. I 100% did not do that last year, and I was telling myself I was going to do a better job cutting it this year, but I in fact did not do a better job cutting it this year. I don't know what my problem is. It's a good thing I don't sew, really. It's really a good thing. All right, so I should have enough of these now to put it together for you. All right, so you really can pick which way you have them face. I kind of have these poofs facing clockwise, so I'm putting them in counterclockwise as I go. And I feel like I did 17 and 9 last year, but I never really follow the formulas exactly. I kind of just go with what is looking good while I'm making it. So I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to use zip ties. I'm going to take out a bunch of zip ties. Keep all my zip ties in a drawer with my pipe cleaners, and I hope I have enough that I do not have to dig through that drawer because it's a hot mess. So I will also show you how to make this petal with a piece of poly burlap mesh, because I did see people making it with mesh, and so you don't have to use fabric. I just really like the look of fabric, and the example that Holly, you should look at it in person, because it really does have these beautiful little stars in the stripe. Kind of is just it has like a pretty look. They're very subtle, so you're not going to see them on the live. My Hobby Lobby has a lot of fabric, and it's not a very big one, so maybe the larger ones do have the big stars. They had the big stars last year, but Amazon does have the big stars, and Walmart had the big stars, at least online. I think it was a third-party seller, but Hobby Lobby didn't. Let me see. I was on the phone, so I did not get my supplies perfectly organized before I came on. My son called me 10 minutes before I started. So I will tell you when I get through one section how many pieces I put in it. I really liked putting the ribbon or something else around this, because when you see it from the side, then there's still something there. You can also kind of poof out the fabric a little when you're done, but when I put the jute on it, I liked that it wasn't just a frame you were seeing from the side. Hello, Paula. It's giving you Americana vibes. Well, my very dear friend who is an art teacher in the district where I used to work, that I've known for years, she sent me a picture of a wreath from Amazon, actually, made with fabric. It wasn't petals. It was like when you made that wreath where you put the different, it was almost like poofs, but all over the place poofs. Anyway, she said she liked that. She was thinking about ordering it, but she wanted to ask me if I could make something, for her first. And I did not want a copy, so I put 4 in this one section, but I reserve the right if I feel like I need to tighten it up to move it and put a 5th one. This one right here is in the next section. And then she showed me a different one from Pottery Barn that had a sort of petal, but it looked different than this one. So I kind of just decided that I was going to put a jute around the frame and cut the fabric and make it look like this. And it really it really did set it apart from the two she had picked out, but it was in the same, had the same vibe. And that's why I frayed the fabric, because the fabric in the wreaths that she showed me, not the Party Barn or Pier one or whatever it was, but the Amazon one was rustic and had frays in it. All right, hello Jean. So I'm not sure how many blue and white I'm going to use. I will tell you, I cut approximately a yard of this red and white, but I was not efficient in my cutting. If you do the math and cut it more uniform than I did, then you will do a better job. I will also tell you that the man at Hobby Lobby was very generous and held the fabric over the yard line when he cut it, which made me very happy. He was very sweet about that. So you can see some of them are smaller. It's not really going to make a difference when it's put together. When I got to the end of cutting them, I really kind of panicked because, who said that? Hi there. Oh, that's Paula still. I'm trying to look at my iPad, but mostly it's just white blur. So if you actually measure and cut, you don't really need a full 10 by 10. Some of these are smaller because I got scared at the end. But if you want to be uniform, that's fine. I wasted a little bit of the red and white on the ends, which kind of made it a problem. I do suggest wrapping the wreath with something, but just make sure when you do that that you go under the two middle bars. Sometimes it doesn't matter, like when you're making a wreath that definitely extends far beyond the wreath frame, or it has a lot of poof to it, you're not really going to notice the frame if you don't want to finish it off, although I usually do finish it off with something. If I'm giving it away or selling it or whatever. But with these, I feel like you could really see it from the side. And when it was hanging up, this piece is definitely too big. When it was hanging up from the side, you really did appreciate that it had this one's definitely too big. You definitely appreciated that it was, wrapped in the jute. So I did not have the time or energy to wrap it in that this time, but I did decide to do the ribbon. The one that I did in the plain burlap ribbon looked a lot better. I think that says Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Nancy makes such beautiful wreaths too. I have Holly and Nancy on here that make such gorgeous wreaths. A lot of people have been talking about these wreath frames lately because they have not been in a lot of Dollar Trees, although I posted some recently. In addition to that, you can buy them online in a 24 case. So there's it so far. I kind of decided to use this petal because it gave me like bunting vibes when it was all around. And that's like a thing that I think about from 4th of July, parades and celebrations. One thing that it did, especially when I used the jute, isolating the bars, it made it tighter when I used the zip ties because, hello Jessica, welcome. It made it tighter with the zip ties because I'm putting it around too. I just didn't feel like taking the time to use pipe cleaners for this. And that way it helped. But it does really make a difference because you don't have to finish it off now. It's finished. It's 100% finished already. And you don't have to use like your most expensive ribbon. I actually showed you this ribbon roll. I only used the smallest piece from this. I had leftover pieces, from ribbon tails or whatever in a drawer, and that's what I used. So anything that you have in a comparable color. Hello, Vicky. Thank you for watching. You could use. Let's see if I'm keeping up with the 4 in each section. I can't even find the section on this. 1, 2, 3. It looks like I'm basically keeping up with 4 per section. But if I don't like the way that it looks at the end, I'm gonna change it up just a little bit. I'm gonna pull these together. It's another good thing about putting the zip ties on here, although it is tight enough to hold it in, there is some give that you can pull them closer together easier than with the pipe cleaner. You could probably use the smaller zip ties, but if you've ever watched me before, the really little zip ties, I really have a hard time with these 6-inch zip ties because my hands shake. So I'm using the, I don't know, these are thicker and they are 8 inches. So you use what you know, works for you. I will show you how I made the petal. I have some blue left to show it. I just need to get another couple bands out because I keep putting them away. I don't know why I'm cleaning as I'm going. That's not like me at all. All right. You do not have to band these together. You can use a zip tie or whatever. Especially on this design, I'm very happy that I banded them together because when I made it the first time, I did adjust how close together the petals were multiple times. And so using zip ties is much easier. So here's a piece of mesh. This one's a hot mess, clearly. It must have been on the end. It's not mesh, it's fabric. It's actually not even that thick. This is thicker than the blue and white one I got. Wow, this is embarrassing. These aren't even my fabric scissors. I don't know where they are. I didn't get ready on time. Okay, so you just fold the piece in half. And actually, it doesn't matter that much how perfect it is at the bottom anyway. This side is better. And then you just scrunch it up, going across. You can start here, or I've seen people do it this way with mesh. Apparently, it's called the Harvey petal. I've never done it with mesh before. But now that I've used it with fabric multiple times, I think it would actually be a great choice to do with mesh. Especially poly burlap or fabric mesh, I think. You can even make this wreath with that. I will do one more for you because I know it kind of went fast. I wasn't really thinking. All right, so I do have a reel of me making these petals, and actually that reel did so well, and that's why I'm making it live, because a few people were like, well, where's the rest of it? So I'm just folding it in half, very simple. Doesn't have to be exact, it's very forgiving. And then I'm just scrunching it up from one end to the other. And like I said, last year when I did this, I decided to do it this way because it kind of reminded me of bunting. And the examples I was given from my friend who wanted me to do something for her, instead of buying the one she showed me, I just thought that this was, you know, a very, very simple, nice design. So that's how you make it. And I will show you once or twice on the poly burlap mesh how it looks. Because when you use the mesh, you have the finished edges on the side, which is always a plus. So I have I have less than 3 sections left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm probably going to do a couple more, and then I'm going to start on the blue, and then I'm going to see if I need to add more red and white stripes. Hello, Deborah. Thank you for joining us. I was so sad my mother couldn't come today like she did last time, but it's kind of good because I'm getting my hair done on Thursday, and then when I send her a picture, she won't complain. Last time she was like, you need to get your hair done because it was down. Oh, moms are great. Okay. So it's just very, very simple. The red and white fabric that I used last year was not a pure white. It was kind of an off-white, and it was a thicker, more textured fabric. But this is what I found at Hobby Lobby that I liked best this time. Hello, Rosie. Yes, moms are that way. She was like, Shannon, I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but all right, we have 3 pieces left. So I think we're just going to use the 3 pieces of this that we have left. And if that's too much, we'll take one off. Because if it's not enough, too bad, because I don't have any more. I'll have to figure that out another day. It should really only be a yard that you need, but for those of you who are here on time, I did a terrible job at cutting it uniform, which doesn't really show in the finished wreath, but it does show in how I wasted some of the fabric. So I will count how many petals it took me, and then you will divide your fabric by that number of petals, and that is what you will do, because you want somewhat square pieces. I did not do the math ahead of time. That would have been too much of a good idea. I think this might be okay. I feel like I might have broken this or just squeezed together. Anyway, here we go. And then I will count them. Let's see how many I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right, I did 17 of the red and white, and then this is all going to be blue here with the white stripes. We're going to talk about Bruno. This is not coffee, this is decaf tea. I'm just pretending like it has caffeine in it. All right, so we're going to start adding stars now. I bent the middle wire pieces a little too much when I was zip tying, so don't zip tie too tight. Always forget that when I'm using zip ties on these wire frames, because I'm used to pulling them as tight as I possibly can. But these Dollar Tree frames can bend and break if you pull them too tight. You can also use a frame that's not from Dollar Tree. This frame is a little thinner, although it's 14 inches. This frame is from Amazon, actually, and it has 7 sections, but it works fine for this. I'm not showing it to you on this frame because you can't see the bars. But I might just make one with mesh on that. I don't know. The wasting of fabric. Look, I will not waste mesh, but I'm not good with fabric, you know. I don't use a whole lot of fabric. Maybe when I start using it more and when I learn how to like measure it properly and, you know, use rotary cutters and all those things, I will do a better job. I'm still learning too. I have seen a few that use the fabric kind of like in a rag wreath style. Looks really cool. But I was trying to do something very simple, like the ideas that were presented to me by my friend who wanted this. I don't like this one that much. All right. So when I did this last year, I counted and it was 17 and 9. This does not look like it's going to be 17 and 9. This looks like less than 9, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. There we are so far. When I did get this fabric from Hobby Lobby, it was on sale. It was like 30 or 40% off or something, which was really nice. I don't know if that's the case, but usually somebody has fabric on sale. Actually, this from Walmart was more expensive than this from Hobby Lobby because of the sale at Hobby Lobby. But still, this Walmart one was $9 for a yard, and this was like $6, maybe $5 for the yard. Maybe $5. Okay. We're getting there. Might actually be $9. You're the worst because you keep clicking out and coming back. Deborah, it says that you're joined like 1,000 times. I can't see that one comment, and I don't know how. I can't get back to it. Hello, Lori. That was what I was looking at. I'm wearing my, oh no, I'm wearing my Pitt shirt. I thought I was wearing my Delaware shirt. One of my sons goes to Delaware. So that's why I thought I was wearing my Delaware shirt. Oh, welcome from Delaware. We are almost done. One, two, three, four, five, 6. It's going to be close to 9. Really is going to be close to 9. And this is a very fast live, but honestly, it did not take me, the longest part of preparing for this was me wrapping the wreath, honestly, which you do not have to do, but I think makes it look a lot better. But putting these petals together was super, super fast. Whoops. Got it stuck on the fabric. So I'm just going to flip this up. So it looks like I'm going to need 2 more, maybe 3. And I'll just check to make sure the spacing is okay. You could use blue fabric, really, if you can't find the stars you want. You waste stuff too. Yes, you keep getting interrupted. What, your phone? You getting spam? All right, looks like, looks like I don't really want to jam another one in there, but I'm going to see if I need it. I'm going to put one more in there. Just going to pull these a tiny bit closer together so I can fit one more. Use this one, smaller. And then that should be the whole thing. And then I'm just going to quickly show you what this petal looks like if you use poly burlap mesh, because not everybody's going to have fabric, want to go out and buy fabric, and you can really do the same thing. They have navy and stars on Amazon. Yes, they do. I saw that one as well. Do you know how much that one was? Kids, yeah. Someday they grow up. But I remember. All right, so that's the whole wreath right there. So it's very simple. Obviously, you can embellish it if you want to. I'm going to take out the other frame. I feel like I'm on a cooking show because I have other materials. And I just have some of this cut from another project I did. So I'm just going to do 1 or 2 of these Harvey petals, which is what I saw them called on a Unique in the Creek video. I don't know, it was like a year ago or something. I saw it after I made this. Like, this is a very easy petal to do, but apparently it looks great with mesh also, so I'm just going to show you. This is poly burlap mesh, cut 10 by 10, so it's 10-inch mesh. I cut it at 10 inches. So you're really just going to do the same thing. You're going to fold it over, and then you're going to scrunch it together. When I saw them do it, they, gathered like this. I just scrunched from one side to the other. Harvey petal. And I will band this. Whoops. It's falling apart. I will band this and attach it to the other frame just so you can see it. And then I will hold up the wreath one more time and let you go. Oh wow, I did this very quickly today. Sometimes lives can be quick. All right, so I'm just gonna attach this right here, assuming that you would be doing the same pattern, which you don't have to do. That's a broken one. So I do have red and white striped mesh, but it's like very sparkly and Christmassy. So I'm just using, I would just alternate the red and white. And then either use navy blue and put stars on it, or use that mesh from Michael's that I used previously. I only think I have one piece of it left, so I can't show it to you. So that's how the petal would look in mesh. So it will look fantastic like that, I think, as well. Thank you so much, Rhonda. Thank you, Deborah. So I'll show it to you one more time. Here is our simple patriotic wreath made from, I would say, about 1.5 yards of fabric and a 14-inch wire frame. So this was not very expensive for me to make at all. So there she is.